Years old. It was September 10th, 1997. He broke his arm. Don't know how, but he did. The St. Vincent de Paul Hospital, the ER doctor was a residential doctor, which means a student doctor, clearly stated that it was abuse. And he claimed that my husband did it because he's a step-parent. That all step-parents abuse their stepchildren. Well, to me, that's like, being stereotyped. Because I have great step-parents that never laid their hands on me. So that doesn't make sense. But they convinced me of it. Well, they said it was child abuse. I asked the hospital to call the police. They refused. So I did. I called the police department, and the police department did an investigation. Well, while that investigation was going on, the hospital decided to put my child in protective custody without a warrant, without anything. I kept that child from me for 6 weeks. 6 long weeks, without no orders, without anything, hidden by a different name. Nothing. But if you ask them, they only keep the child for 12 hours. That's what the state law says. But they kept my child from September 10th, 1997 to October 20th, 1997. Why is that? Without anything. Then they gave me a temporary order, and they let him come home for about 3 months. Then they automatically came back because my lawyer told me to go to my dad's house and try in a different court to get a change of venue because my dad lived in another state. That change of venue had to be filed in that court. And the court requested that child come up there. So I went up there. And the state of Missouri knew where I was going. I was there for a few weeks. The next thing you know, a warrant was placed for my son's arrest. He was 3 years old. And this warrant was a murder warrant. They kicked in my father's door and held us at gunpoint for 12 hours until Missouri got the proper warrant because Missouri did not give the proper warrant. We held at gunpoint while they waited for a warrant, and then they stole my child. My child was sent back to Missouri, and when he was sent back here, I was put in contempt. I fought hard. I asked for an appeal. I got an appeal. They denied me. My appeal said that there's elements of criminal and civil rights in it, and they said they didn't care. I asked for due process. They said I wasn't entitled to any. So at that time, the minute they told me I wasn't allowed due process, my statute of limitations were told. It means they no longer exist. Shortly after that, my lawyer quit on me in the middle of my case after I paid $12,000. I paid a lot of money for a lawyer. Took all my life savings. I was only 19 years old. Everything that I had, and they took. After that, after my lawyer quit, I got a court-appointed lawyer. They got paid over almost $5,000 to defend me, which didn't do anything but sit there. They decided they were going to terminate my parental rights. And they did. When they terminated my parental rights, they didn't give me no documents. They didn't give me anything. I didn't sign anything. Just my son was gone. That's it. Just gone. When that happened, I was devastated. I didn't know why my child was taken. I had no record of it. They wouldn't give me my file. They locked it up in a vault. They said I wasn't entitled to anything. The appeal board said I wasn't allowed to appeal without my file, and I've been fighting and fighting and fighting. I've written every legislation. I have written the governor. I've written the President of the United States. It went as far as the Department of Justice of the United States, and they wrote me back. They did an investigation and said my rights were deprived criminally. But because my case was 14 years old, and the statute of limitations barred them from doing anything. But I didn't have no due process. My rights were automatically deprived. So why didn't they do something? So now the federal government is in conspiracy of not letting me have remedy. I was born here. I thought I was an American. My parents were born here. They're American. Well, I thought we were entitled to justice, equality, and remedy. And that's what Law Day is about, is equality and justice. So where is my equality? Where is the fact that I'm equal? Where's the fact that my son is equal? Where's the fact that my family should have been equal? Where's the fact that these families should have been equal? Where's our justice? There is no justice. I went long 17 years of fighting this battle and still have not won. I still can't get my file. Therefore, I still can't file my case. But I will, and I'll keep fighting, and I'll keep striving. And if I have to raise every American on this planet and everybody in this world to rise up with me to do so, I will do it. Because this isn't right. Children are not cattle. Children are not money for money, profit. They should not take our children for money, ever. And I mean ever. If there's an abuser in the home, the abuser should be the one isolated, not the child. The child should be placed with family and kept with its family. Child abuse is a crime. Therefore, it belongs in criminal court, not family court. All child abusers are supposed to be put in jail. That's what we want. We don't want no secret courts. We want transparency. So why ain't we getting it? If we're so much the abuser, why is it in secret court? If we really are abusing our children, why isn't everybody hearing about it? They said their excuse, oh, the privacy of the child. Well, in a criminal case, the child is never mentioned. Put a number on the child. Doesn't matter. A child abuse is a crime. And children that are being abused should be protected and kept with their families. Families are there for a reason. It's for their heritage, their lineage, to know who they are, where they belong. Because when they get removed, it don't just affect them, it affects the entire unit. Every child gets affected, whether it be a cousin, aunt, uncle. It doesn't matter how old they are or how young they are. Grandparents suffer. This is family abuse. And that's where I'm going to lead into. I've orchestrated an organization called MAFA LLC, Mothers Against Family Abuse, for these mothers and grandmothers, grandparents, grandfathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, fathers, children. It don't matter. If your family and this system is abusing you, if anyone is abusing you, that is family abuse. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran and you're not getting help. It doesn't matter what you're not getting. If they're abusing you and you're suffering, that's family abuse, because we're all family. Period. We're family. So I'm going to get into what MAFA stands for. Family units are the most important in our nation. Keeping families together is our main goal. You ask yourself, what is family abuse? Family abuse is where somebody is deliberately trying to destroy a family unit. This destruction causes severe PTSD, not only in the children, but in the whole family unit. The issues of separation from child to parent, as well as child to grandparent, are devastating with long-lasting effects with injury that lasts a lifetime. Not only do children need their family, but families need their children too. The problem: alienating parents and grandparents, divorce, forced adoptions, forced parental termination, child abuse, separation of family unity, no transparency in the family courts, no due process in the family court system, no family preservation in our government or laws, Constitution not upheld in the family court system, medical kidnapping, family bonds destroyed, removal of children without evidence or warrants. Solution. There is a solution, folks. Keeping families together, providing family advocates, change the laws to contribute into keeping family units together instead of removing them. Services in the home benefit the family by choice without force. Not to target parents as criminals where no crime has been committed. No immunity for fraud in family court. Blue Ribbon Committee of the Peers of the People for the Child Welfare Board for fair oversight. Direct access for this committee for the prosecuting entity. The statute of limitations, no statute of limitations on any crime that results in these abuses because the damage is permanent. MAFA LLC is dedicated to make sure these services are put in place with the help of its communities and the people and its volunteers. We are publicly funded by the people, like donations. We help each other. It's a helping hand. We are for the people, by the people. We are the people. We stand for integrity, honesty, justice, and God. We are the voice of the innocent families of Missouri. My name is Reverend Rosemary Dalton, and suffering this long is enough. No parent, no child, no grandparent, no aunt, no uncle, no left behind children, no step parents should ever have to endure this kind of abuse. If you've ever suffered this kind of abuse, you know what I'm talking about. But the people we need to talk to are the people that don't know this is going on. The people we need to address are the ones that are ignoring our cries. There's thousands of us. According to Professor Isham, he's out of Arizona, his statistics says there's 400,000 children removed by DFS. The statistics on that is out of 18 children, only 1 are from abused families. The other 17 are from loving homes. Well, why were the 17 children removed then? If they're from loving, supportive homes, why are they taken? Well, the answer is easy. Bill Clinton put in effect in 1997 what you call an incentive to remove children, which is Title IV. Title IV and Title V funding provides DFS with the money and bonuses. They get a lot of money, more money than you could probably think of. Bonus pays, foster parents get money, adopted parents get money, the hospitals get money. Everybody's hands in it. To me, that sounds a little bit like racketeering to me. All these organizations stealing these children for money, what, to make their pockets grow? And why we, the innocent families, being destroyed? Is that right? Is that fair? Now, look about the 501c3s. They're all part of it too. The government controls them. The churches that are 501c3s, the government controls them. They also help take these children. So now we have to protect our children from all these monsters. They're evil. It's an evil system. But yet you guys still don't want to listen. You guys think, oh, DFS is so great. They're saving children. Oh, they're so great and so wonderful. We could kiss them. You ain't a victim. You don't know. Because if you were on my shoes, you'd be doing the same thing I'm doing. Because it can happen to you. There's a lot of things that you don't understand that these parents have suffered. The abuse that is done by this system, and our governor won't do nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing. He should be ashamed of himself. Our governor, our senators, they were all notified of this event. They should have been out here with us, and they weren't. So we came to them. We're on their steps. But do you see them coming out? They ain't came out. They know we're here. They know what we're about, but they won't show themselves because they're guilty. They're all guilty of this. Because they pass these laws and they won't think another eye. There's laws in effect that try to get passed through and they won't even think for the children. There's Haley's law, Isaiah's law, and multiple other laws. But yet they bat an eye and shuffle away and they deny it. Well, the governor has enough power under Section 207.030 to stop DFS. They have the power to do it, but yet they ignore to. So if the governor himself has this power under that law to strip these CPS people of every right, because they swore to an oath of the Constitution to follow and abide by it, of the Constitution as well as the state Constitution, then why can't they be held accountable? Why is everybody saying they have immunity? They don't have immunity, but they think they do. We as people need to join together and say no more. We need to hold these monsters accountable. They need to be held accountable for every child that was taken illegally, wrongfully, fraudulently. There's such things as, if you don't give due process, the rights that you have, and you fight for them, there's no statute of limitations on kidnapping, ever. Kidnapping and murder are the two crimes in this whole United States that there's no statute of limitations on. And when you take a child wrongfully and illegally, that's kidnapping. It's called legal kidnapping because they're the government. So anybody can just walk in your door and take your child. So from now on, I suggest, because Americans have forgotten our civil liberties, Law Day, May 1st, should go on every year like this until this government fixes itself. And we do this every month until they start listening. We grow, we get bigger, and keep getting bigger and speaking out and gathering families and these victims and finding these children and letting these children speak out, because these children need to have a voice. And that's what we're doing. We're giving these children a voice. Because these children can't speak for themselves. And when they try to speak, everyone ignores them. Well, any mother knows that a child deserves to be heard. These children deserve to be heard. These children deserve their families. Divorce, all that, equality, all the way around. Children are the most precious gift God gives us. It's our most precious human right, is to raise our family. No one has that right to interfere with it. Nobody, not even this government. Family law should be completely abolished because the government should not interfere with the upbringing of family under any circumstance. Now, I would like everyone to take a great time and take a pause and remember every one of these victims. Take a pause for every child that's life is lost in the system without knowing, because there's a lot of children that have been murdered by their foster parents. Parents that have never get to see their children again or even have the chance of hope. And I like to say, I hope I gave you guys a chance of hope, because Law Day is a special day for the people. Law Day is a day to grieve it or praise, to remember that we are Americans, to remember to stand tall with our freedom and stand tall with our flags and fly them high and fight for our liberties. These are our liberties. Raising our children is our civil liberties, to raise them without government interference. We, the people, need to have a stand. We, the people, need to be able to say no more. Fix these laws or get out of office. Listen to the people or take a bow and step aside and let someone else that can do the job do the job.
Woohoo! Yeah!
The people don't want you there no more if you're not going to protect our families. If you're not going to listen to the people, then you don't deserve your office.
That's right.
If you don't listen to the people, then you don't deserve to be here. Go home and let the people take back their government. Because we're better off taking care of this ourselves than allow you to make childish decisions about our children. Our children deserve better than this. And now, you got a lot of angry mothers. You got a lot of angry children. You got a lot of angry grandmothers. You got a lot of angry grandfathers. And a lot of these grandfathers are veterans. And veterans that fight for this country and for their right. And they took an oath. As no different than any American on this soil. All Americans have taken an oath to be an American. To take an oath to what? Does anybody remember the oath of the American? The oath of the American. What is it? To defend our Constitution against who? Foreign and all domestic enemies. Anyone that violates this Constitution is a domestic enemy. And if they choose to bring laws into this office and choose to bring laws into our Capitol and our grounds, then they're committing they're a domestic enemy. They're committing training. And anybody that goes and makes laws against our families is committing training. This is our family. Unless they have absolute proof of abuse, and these cases go into criminal court with transparency and give us due process, this is a criminal act against the people, we the people. And if we the people cannot have a voice, and we the people cannot be heard, and we the people don't see justice, then what is the point of Law Day? Law Day is about standing for equality and justice. There is no justice here. There is no equality, there's no remedy, people are not getting heard, there's nothing but training and corruption. What are we going to do about it? We stand together. We speak our voices. We stand tall and strong, and when Americans are down, we pick them up and stand together. We bind together. We're Americans. We're the home of the brave. We've won every war but one. Where are you? But yet you stand there and let our families get taken and destroyed, and every right we have violated. But yet everyone ignores it. What, does children not to be deserve to be heard? Shouldn't everybody open their eyes? Because this can happen to you. They can come to your door because your child fell off the swing and remove your child just for that. You can ask for a second medical opinion because you disagree with the doctor, and they'll take your child and you'll never see your child again. Trust me, all these parents here, grandparents have dealt with that. Simple reasons like that. Boys will be boys. Boys and little girls will break bones by accident by playing in a playground. You can lose your child for that too. And they don't care because they're worth money. Our children are cattle to them. They've enslaved us and they've told us what to do. No more. We're moms. We're the mama bears of the nation. We're Americans and we need to stand up for our kids.
Right.
Our children deserve to be heard in every aspect of life. Our children deserve to be safe and loved and cared for. But do you listen? Are you listening? Do you hear me? Because our children are totally in danger by the government. Our government is stealing our children and doing absolutely nothing to protect them. They don't care about the family unit, and they're destroying every heritage and lineage that we have. They're destroying what this great nation was. Family. If you cannot stand up for your family, then what will you stand up for? If you won't stand up and be American, then why are you here in America? And if you won't say no more, then why do you even bother to pay taxes? I don't know if anybody else has anything else to say about this, but I love this great nation, and I love my veterans, and I love my police, and I love my people. I don't like the way they act. I don't like the way people are ignoring us, and we need to fix that. Everybody needs to remember their oath. They need to remember they have an oath to protect us. They have an oath to protect and serve our country and to protect our Constitution against all foreign and domestic abuse. They're enemies. A direct violation of the Constitution is training, and that's treasonous acts. And our military and our veterans should get together and start making arrests. Because as long as these people who are making these laws violating our Constitution, that's a direct threat to the United Nations, this whole United States. We're Americans, and our country's in danger. I like to take a time to take a pause and take a few minutes and just remember the soldiers, remember the veterans that lost their lives, that fought for our families to keep us safe and together, that fought for the very freedoms that I'm sitting here expressing that we so deserve and we so dear enjoy and that we want to keep and cherish for generations to come. So I'm going to give you a few minutes of silence and just pray for those soldiers that are out in Afghanistan. Pray for all these soldiers that are defending our flag and our country. Pray for them. Just a few minutes. Thank you for that moment of silence. Mary would like to say a few more things, so I'm going to let her take the podium.
I thank you for that. It's very hard to do a follow-up on that speech, but I would like to say about our veterans becoming homeless, and they recently just enacted things that would help the veterans, but for months and months and years, since all of the wars from Saudi to Afghanistan, everything that's happened, veterans have come home and become homeless. There were no jobs for them. Nobody cared. They ended up out on the street. I've met many of them. I've talked to many of them. My whole family on one side, the majority of them, on both sides actually, have been military. I love those people. I love what they've done for our country. I love the freedoms that they fought for. It's time that we stood up and said no more harming the veterans. They come home, we treat them like the heroes they are. Please, everybody, treat them like the heroes they are. If you see a veteran in need, help them. If you can help them, help them. If you cannot help them, at least thank them for their service. Right. They so much appreciate that. Thank you.
This event was set up for to be a little longer, but I'm out of speakers and not everybody showed up. So we're going to start closing. We have another speaker? I think Ron wants to speak.
Uh-oh.
Come on up.
I've got too much to say and not enough time to say it.
Oh, you got lots of time. We got like an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, you just don't know.
Just don't take all the time because I still got to do the close and the prayer.
Hello, my name is Ron Day. I'm here. I'm with Anonymous. I'm with the people. There's something terribly wrong with this country. People are walking around putting one foot in front of the other. They have eyes, but they don't want to look. They don't want to see. They've got ears, but they don't want to hear. They've got minds, but they don't want to think. They don't want to understand. They're driven by one purpose. You know what that sounds like to me? Zombies. They've got eyes, they don't see. They've got ears, they don't hear. They've got minds, they don't think. They've got hearts, but they don't feel. People need to pull out of the stupor that they are in and wake up. Look, listen. Our government, a government for the people, of the people, by the people, but they're not for us. You know why? Because we allow them to do what they want to do. They do it because we will not stand up. We will not step forward. We will not take control of our country. They work for us. We don't work for them. Look at this building. How much do you suppose it costed? Do you think it costed them? No. It's costing us. Do you think it takes a building like this to make laws? Do you think it takes a building like this for justice? No. It's profit generation. Why? Because we are allowing it. Why? Because, oh, it's not my problem. It's somebody else's problem. Well, guess what? You're alive. Your heart's beating. You're breathing this air. You're standing on this ground. It's your problem too. Now let's talk about justice for a moment. Justice is designed to defend people from harmful acts of others. Now, traffic stops. Where's the justice in that? Who are you harming? A myriad of other laws that are designed for nothing but pure generation of profit, to put money into their pockets. We pay them with our tax dollars. They don't have to steal our money too. They don't have to forcibly take it. They don't have to kidnap us if we refuse to take it, hold us hostage until they do get paid. No. Why are they doing it? Because you're allowing it. Because you will not stand up. You let people like us stand here, you walk by, you ignore us, you don't care. Does anybody left out there have any kind of a heart? Does anybody out there left have any kind of a soul? No, it doesn't seem like it. Because we are all humans. We are all breathing this air. Our hearts are beating. Stop, look, listen, pay attention, feel. Demand a change. There needs to be a change. There's something terribly wrong with this country. Everybody's allowing it to happen. They're stealing your freedom. Do you know what Hitler said about freedom and rights? All you've got to do is take them small increments at a time, almost unnoticeable, imperceptible increments, until you've taken so much of it that it's too far to turn back. It's too far for them to do anything about it. What do you think is happening right here, right now, in our country? Our veterans, they went off to these wars. They fought, they bled, they died for this country. And our country's turning their backs on them. They're allowing this government to diagnose them with disorders, to disarm them, because they swore an oath to uphold our Constitution and to defend it. They know that these veterans, as long as they're armed, as long as they can stand up and defend this country and do what they swore an oath to do. They didn't just swear that oath while they're in the military, during their service. They swore it for life. Ask any veteran. Does your oath to the Constitution stop once you get out of service? No. It's for life. It's not just the veterans, it's not just the military's job to defend our Constitution, uphold our Constitution. The Constitution doesn't just belong to the military, it belongs to all of us. It's up to us to defend it. Families